In this section, we will speak about challenges in integration of solar with the utility grid.
So Arvind, with rooftop deployment coming on the residential sector, most of these residences are connected on a single phase. So what about phase imbalance?
You people are very well aware of phase imbalances because you are dealing with single phase connections also. So whenever any new connections happen or the load profile of the existing consumers change, you also are doing regularly, continuous basis, you are doing the phase balancing. Same thing may happen when various solar rooftop systems are coming in, and because of the varying load as well as varying generation profile of these systems, it may happen. So just like you are doing right now for load and the consumers, you may be required to do some balancing after you have observed some imbalances on these systems, and that has to be done locally, because whatever single phase systems will be coming on the rooftops, those will be handled at the local level itself. But maybe this phase balancing will be necessary.
So as we have discussed in the previous session about this anti-islanding feature of the inverter, what happens if this anti-islanding feature fails?
One good thing that we all should remember is, in so many decades of experience of these grid connect systems all over the world, there has never been an incidence where this particular feature of anti-islanding protection has failed in the inverter, and because of it the accident has happened. What happens is, if this particular feature stops functioning for any reason, the complete inverter will shut off, and then there won't be any interconnection between the grid and this particular system. Only when the inverter is rectified, again the system will start generating and feeding into the grid. So there is no such possibility of only this feature of the inverter being a failure, and because of which some accident is happening on the grid. So rest assured that such things are never going to happen even on our own grids here.
So Arvind, since these systems need to interact with the grid for 25 years, so what should be the measures grid engineers have to take, especially at the local level?
There are certain procedures that need to be in place so that some periodical testing and inspection of these inverters happen, very similar to the periodical calibration, recalibration and testing happening to all the consumer meters that you have. Right now, even if there is no set procedure, I think very soon those procedures should be in place. And as we go along increasing these distributed generation, and that's why these inverters all over the grids, it will be very necessary that not only at the time of commissioning, but some periodicity should be there where these features and the inverter itself should be checked and rechecked. So this procedure will have to be set in by all the DISCOMs and all the state regulations also. So because you people are doing this at local level and you are doing this testing and recalibrating, so it's very similar. There is nothing new in this for you people, only the procedure needs to be there in place, that's it.
As a precaution, should we have any manual switch which can be switched off as and when we feel that things are not going right?
Oh yes, even if this particular feature, which till date has never failed anywhere, even after that all our regulations have another safety feature which is built after the inverter and before the interconnection point, which is the automatic disconnect switch followed by the manual isolator. So this is a must for each and every system, and it is also part of the single line diagram that many regulations have specified. The lineman or any person working on the grid, he can and he should switch off these systems manually as well, and then reconnect these systems after the work is completed on the grid side. Slowly what happens is, because the population of such systems will start increasing over the grid at different stages, the DISCOMs will come out with such switches, so that with one switch, rather than controlling a single system, there can be number of systems that can be controlled by one switch and so on. So it can be from consumer end, it can be to the pole level, it can go to the feeder level, then maybe even substation level. so that you don't need to go to all the consumers to switch off manually. You can do it with one switch also. So these things will definitely come up as we grow this distributed generation business and as many more consumers come on the grid. Definitely this will be there.